right, here we go. Final race of the night. This is the men's 10,000 meter here at the 2017 Portland Track Festival. And a pack of men out there, huge pack of men, and some great ones. We're gonna run down through this list of names, and it'll be a treat for you. 41 names on this list as they get through the pace, or settle into the pace around the bend. See the pacer there in the blue.
And you get 300. You get the USATF standard.
So on this start list, we have Louis Serafini of Mizuno Heartbreakers, Galen Rupp, Nike Oregon Project, Olympic medalist at 10,000 in 2012, medalist in the marathon in 2016. So real great treat to follow up what we saw with Shalane Flanagan in the last race. Louis Ostis from Paso Sports, Johnny Crane of Reebok and Zap Fitness, Fernando Cabada running unattached, Daniel Tapia of Mammoth Track Club, Greg Montgomery, Idaho Track Club, Elkanah Kibet from U.S. Army and graduate of Auburn a few years ago, Aaron Dinzeo of the Any Distance, Matt McClintock of Reebok and Zap Fitness, graduate of Purdue, and a former Maine high school standout. Give a shout out to Maine. Ryan Lasky, District Track Club. We got Kevin Lewis, Will Geekin, Ryan Donor, Tyler Day, Lane Worley, Jonas Hampton, Sean Davidson, Gregory Leak, Andrew McLean, Ryan Rutherford. So we're coming up on 600 meters. We'll get the clock on. And 144, so about 143 through 600. Also in this, Andrew McLean, Ryan Rutherford, Mark Leininger, Caleb Reinhardt, Stephen Scallion, Jeff Martinson, Chris Frias, Fabian Guerrero, Gabe Arias Sheridan, Reese Byers, Jason Lynch, Jack Polarity, Brian Glassy, Juan Carlos Romero, Riley Coates, Brian Amstead, Mark Bennett, Steve Chu, Matt McDonald, Mizel Carrera, Brendan McDonald, and Keenan Vaney. And they're a little under 220, about 218 or so through the first 800. And Galen Rupp in this race, a late add this week to that 10,000 along with Shalane Flanagan, 2, 4, 6, 7th in the field right now, settling in. And we got to head down on the infield and talk to Shalane Flanagan, her coaches. Didn't see anyone down there from the Galen Rupp camp, so wasn't able to talk much about his goals tonight. Interesting to see him out here. We haven't seen him out on the track. Obviously ran a great race at the Boston Marathon in April. A runner-up finish there, coming off of that great Olympic showing down in Rio. So out here tonight, local race for him. Lives in the Portland area, trains here on the Nike campus. And these guys coming through up front, 1,200 meters in 3:26. So just under 69 pace. They're going off right now. So pacer got to step on the field. Elkanah Kibet in third there, mentioned ran at Auburn. All-American there. Very solid runner. You see Rupp there settled in behind these guys. Not many times for a lot of guys in this field to run in the same race as an Olympic medalist, so notch that one on their bucket list. As we're gonna come through 1,600 meters this next time they cross the finish. Rupp, for him, his first race on the track in 2017. And again, that second place finish in Boston, the last race he ran, as they come through at about 4:36 or so. Rupp now moves up into fourth. And for 10,000, Galen Rupp, the American record holder, at 26:44. He's run 2 seasons under 27 minutes. That was 2011 when he first broke the American record, and 2014. Last 2 years, he ran his fastest 10Ks of the season at the Global Championships in 2015 out in Beijing. Finished 5th place, ran 27:08, and then matched that in 2016 in Rio with another 5th place and a 27:08, and actually within 1/100th of a second of each other those 2 times at those championship events. So very consistent. And 5:43, they are through 2K. This thing is really strung out here. And you see those runners. Looks like in 3rd place. That may be, looks like it might be Matt McClintock. Zap Fitness. And Purdue graduate, All-American at Purdue. Solid cross runner. Some good track races. One of the best in the Big Ten over the last few years. And hanging right in there behind Kibet. Looks like he's got a couple of his teammates, and one of his teammates at least about 2 spots behind him. Might be Johnny Crane as they come through 6:51. 19 laps to go. The goal pace tonight was 68s. So early on, we were about just under 69s. So 28:30, the USA auto standard, 27:45, the world standard. That 68 goal pace, that's Matt Baxter leading them up front as they come through at 7:58, 7:59. Goal was to run through about 4,000 to 5,000 meters tonight. So 18 laps in there. So we should have a few laps to go. Anywhere between probably 4 to 6 laps left with the pacer, as 7 guys are with the pacer and breaking away from the field. Talked about it in the women's race. Great conditions tonight for a 10,000 meter race. Not super cold, but it is cool. Good conditions here. As Baxter continues to lead them, Kibet, McClintock, and Rupp, your top 3 behind him, as they're going to come through at 9:06 through 3,200 meters. 9:06. So 2 seconds off the goal pace of 68, which would put them at 9:04. That goal pace, pretty sure right around 28:20. Should be on that standard for USA, is that 28:30 standard. Times right now in the US, we've got two guys with who have run the standard this year. Not looking at 2016 times. You see them come through again. Over 10 minutes now. We're at 10:14 with 16 laps to go. So 10:14. So our next time around, we should be at our 4,000 meter time. And again, Baxter's supposed to go through 4,000 to 5,000 meters of this race, but Shadrach Kipchirchir, Hassan Mead at Peyton Jordan Invite ran 27:32, 27:34 to get under that world standard. Bias Mbasa of the American Distance Project ran 27:45.78. So 0.78 seconds off of that standard. Behind him, Diego Estrada was 27:48. So about 3.5 seconds off of that world standard was Estrada, and then Kibene also under 28 minutes this year. So those are your top 5 marks in the U.S. in 2017. There's another 7, so about 12 guys right now under that U.S. standard from this year, from times run this year. As we come through that 4K, they were right over 11:20. Behind Rupp looks to be Daniel Tapia, running for the Mammoth Track Club. So Pacers off now. A little over 4K of 4,200 meters. Now Cabet, we'll see if he can keep this pace up. McClintock in there, looking behind, trying to feel out where everyone is. McClintock now leading. McClintock, a tough racer out there. And he's trying to hit a standard and get himself to the U.S. Championships in a few weeks. He ran at the Peyton Jordan Invite, ran 28:57, so a little bit off that mark. Daniel Tapia was out there also, 28:49, so these guys trying to go at it again. Last chance really for everyone out here to hit the mark this year. Ryan Donor in that pack also had been out in Flagstaff, running unattached now. Was with the NAZ Elite group for a while. Mark Hare, Ben Bruce, 2 guys that have hit that U.S. standard this year. So coming up on 5,000, 14:13, so not a lot of wiggle room. 28:26 pace right now through halfway. So these guys got to stay on it. Fortunately for most of these guys, Rupp's in here, so if he's trying to stay on that pace, they got a good talent out there to be able to do so. McClintock starting to go around lap runners, 14:46 with 12 to go. So in 2 laps, we'll get that 6K split. So these 7 men doing a good job of sticking together as the daylight's starting to go down. Most of the light now here at the track coming from the lights around the stadium. Quebec back in the lead. McClintock in second. Rupp in third. Been behind these two the whole way. Tapia, Crane. That's your top 5. 15:56. Quebec doing a solid job up front right now. Behind Crane. It's Ryan Michalski, District Track Club, with this crew. Trying to hang on for some standard pace. Michalski, his best time from last year at this meet a year ago, 28:57. His first time under 29 minutes, so 17:07 for Quebec as he comes through. 10 laps to go. That was your 4K. Excuse me, your 6K. As you see Quebec trying to avoid any contact with McClintock, letting him know he is there. And now just running on his outside shoulder. Rupp still just sitting back behind those guys, creeping right up into that pocket on the inside of Quebec. .15, 9 to go. McClintock and Quebec trading off leads up front since the Pacers dropped off. Galen Rupp, similar to Shalane Flanagan, it'd be interesting to see what they do with the rest of their years. Shalane having not been on the track in about 2 years. Rupp coming off of a 5th place finish at the Rio Olympics. And really a last chance for him to make, for really both of them to make a world championship team on the track until 2019, as next year there'll be no global championship for U.S. athletes. 8 laps to go. 19:23. So 2 miles, 3,200 meters to go. Now Rupp goes around Quebec as they're passing lapped runners. He's going with McClintock. Quebec staying with Rupp, and they're starting to have a little bit of gap on Tapia and Crane. Michalski there, Donor. Still the same crew as Rupp now takes the lead for the first time tonight. And he's gonna hit there just under 20 minutes when he takes that lead. At 7.5 laps to go, 3,000 meters left in this race, so 7K at about 19:58. So we'll see what this last 3K is for him, as he's gonna have 7 laps remaining and crosses over that line, 20:31 for Rupp. Kibet and McClintock, the two to go with. And now you can see that gap has formed pretty quick in the last 200 meters since Rupp took over. Donor leading that chase group on the right of your screen with Crane and Tapia behind him. At this point, Kibet and McClintock, they're trying to hit these standards. They just have to sit with Rupp. They did a lot of the work through 7,000 meters. Really, the pacer through about 4,200 meters. And then the next 3K, Kibet and McClintock traded off the lead to keep things on pace as much as they could. And now Rupp taking over. Getting a little refresher back on the track. And they're gonna come up on 6 to go. Mile and a half. Rupp, 21:38. And this is Rupp's first track race, as we mentioned, in quite a while. So McClintock now off the pace, and it's Rupp and Kibet with 5.5 laps to go. They'll be coming up on 8,000 meters when they cross the start-finish line. After that 10,000 meter, Rupp in Rio, Rupp had not touched the track again since. So coming up now, 5 to go, 22:45. So that's your 8K split, and Kibet takes the lead on Rupp. So he's still got a little bit in the tank. McClintock, he's back a little ways. We'll see if we can get a shot. Donor trying to come up on him. So Ryan Donor doing a great job in the second half of this race, making up some ground. There you see McClintock in the back with the yellow, so not too far off. Donor is about to catch him. So Ryan Donor coming with some surge here. He's just behind. We'll see if we can get him in our screen. But he might make a pass with the way he was coming up on him. And we'll see if he can make up some ground with McClintock now to get up there with Rupp. He's making the pass. Look at this. Donor. Great running by him. 4 to go, 23:56 and 23:57 or 8 where McClintock was. So only about a second or two separating the first 4. Rupp had taken the lead, made that move. It looks like he's settled back in, let Kibet do some of the work, and that's really let Ryan Donor not only catch McClintock, but now catch the leaders, and he's right with him. So great running for Donor. Let's see what happens here. 3.5 to go. So next lap around we'll be at 9K. And you see Crane in the distance there. He's your 5th place runner. Donor ran 29:02 at this meet last year. So never has broken 29 minutes, so this could be a big breakthrough for him. Kibet still leading. So 3 laps to go, 25:05. So on the backstretch, when they hit the 200-meter mark, we'll be at 9K. We'll have 1K to go. So now McClintock to the lead. Rupp's going with him. Cabet in third. Donor there hanging. These guys all running really, really strong as we're going to hit 9K. And Rupp's taking the lead again. 25:40 with 2.5 laps to go. And Rupp does not look like he's going to let go of this lead from this point. But Donor's going with him. Ryan Donor has got some life in those legs. And let's see what he can do here against the Boston Marathon runner-up. So now Rupp gaps Donor as they're just over 26:10 with 2 to go. The Olympic silver medalist in the marathon is showing that he's heads above this field. But that's nothing against those guys out there. These guys, Donor, Cabet, McClintock, they're looking to run some personal bests here, and Cabet had dropped off, but you see him now going around Ryan Donor. So here we go, final straightaway, and it's Galen Rupp gonna finish things up here, and a battle for second with Cabet and McClintock. Sorry, we're gonna have 1 to go. And Rupp finishing up with 1 to go at 27:14, 27:15, 16, about 27:17 for Cabet and Donor, 27:22 for McClintock, so he's dropped off a little bit. Rupp on the backstretch all alone. Looking really smooth. And he'll should be a little over 28 minutes here, maybe around 28:10. He's coming up on 200 to go. Some strong turnover right now. 27:45. Cabet has dropped off from Donor, about 27:50. Now Donor is starting to close the gap on Rupp. I don't think he's gonna have room to catch him, but doing a great job finishing strong here. A great second half of the race for Ryan Donor. Maybe the fastest second half of anyone out here. He's pushing it, and it's gonna be a big PR for him. First time under 29 minutes. Galen Rupp's gonna cross over. He's gonna run 27:18, about 27:19 for Donor, around 28:21 for Cabet. McClintock, he's gonna get that US standard, so punching his ticket to Sacramento. Mahalski and Crane are gonna be close, but I think they might just miss it. Looks like they're gonna come through in about 5th and 6th. So Rupp's gonna be 28:18, 28:19 for Donor. Again for Donor. Look back at this. But for Ryan Donor, 29:02 at this meet a year ago. So about 43-second PR for him. Big run to get into US championships for Cabet. 28:26 was his PR from 20:09. So that's gonna be a 4-second PR for him, 4.5 seconds. And McClintock came in with a 28:54. So McClintock, once his time gets up there, he's gonna be close to that 28:30, but I think he got it. So about a 25 to 30-second PR for him potentially tonight as we wait for those times. There you see the runners coming in, the grandstands here at Lewis and Clark College. A beautiful backdrop to a wonderful event put on by the Portland Track Group. And McClintock 28:27, so officially he's punched his ticket to the US Championships. Congrats to those guys. And for that 10,000 meters on the US list this year, these times gonna rank right around the top 10, top 15 marks in the US. There you see these times coming in. Mahalski and Crane, 9 and 10 seconds off those U.S. qualifying marks. Tyler Day there, and Tapia, Kevin Lewis. So our top 9 all under 29 minutes. But those top 4 on the board, we'll see them at the U.S. Championships in a few weeks. And we'll wait to find out what comes of the season for Galen Rupp and Shalane Flanagan, 2 of the best distance runners in U.S. history, coming off of their debuts on